Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable examiners of this seminar proposal, Ibu Dr. Dra. Rachmawati M.Pd and Bapak Drs. Ahmad Ridha M.A. The honorable my supervisors, Ibu Duti Volya S.Pd M.Pd and Ibu Nely Arif S.Pd M.Pd. On this occasion, I would like to present my thesis proposal with the title Illocationary Acts of Smartphone Advertisement on YouTube. But before, let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmah Dian Putri. My student number A1B 218039. Let me start it. Chapter 1, Introduction. Background of the study. Language is the main key of communication. According to Wulandari Noviana, language is a tool of communication that is used in everyday life. Words delivered in spoken or written, or just gesture, facial expression, and eye contact, that's all language. And it shows that people cannot be separated by language. In doing communication, the interlocutor needs to interpret the meaning of what being said by speaker. And pragmatics is a branch of linguistics that study about meaning. According to Della and Penguji, pragmatics is a branch of linguistics concerned with the meaning in use. Or in other words, pragmatics is study about meaning of language uttered by speaker or writer and interpreted by hearer or reader. And the central point of pragmatic is speech act. Speech act theory proposed by Austin, and according to Austin, in Penguji, speech act refers to people who not only say something but also do something. Or in other words, when people say something, they also do something, or there is an act in utterance. Austin classified a speech act into three. They are locutionary, act of saying something, illocationary, act of doing something, and perlocutionary, act of producing effect. And the core, also the center of speech act, is illocationary acts. The theory of illocationary acts developed by Searle, and according to Searle, in Dilgeri, illocationary acts categorized into 5. They are directive, commissive, assertive, expressive, and declaratives. Those 5 types of illocationary acts can be found in any fields in life, include advertisement. Advertisement itself, according to Hakim and Duti, is news order to encourage and persuade about the goods and service offered. Nowadays, advertisement is not only exists on newspaper, magazine, or television, but also on social media such as YouTube. Advertisement identical with something interesting in order to catch the consumer interest. Therefore, the advertiser makes the advertisement as interesting as possible with the use of language. However, it potentially emerges misinterpretation to the consumers because advertisement is a kind of one-way communication, which means the consumers only can receive information but cannot ask questions. That is a problem and phenomenon that interesting to be analyzed. In this research, the researcher takes smartphone advertisement because almost people in the world have and use smartphone, especially in this pandemic era that everything done by online. So it's more profitable to users to be better in choose a good smartphone, and the understanding of the meaning of the smartphone advertisement will help the users. YouTube itself is default application of smartphone and can be accessed by laptop or computer with internet connection. The mission of YouTube is to give the users freedom to express their opinion and show the world to everyone. YouTube has four main freedom, namely freedom to expression, freedom of information, freedom to use opportunities, and freedom to have a place to work. Next, limitation of the research. In this research, the researcher limits the analysis on the types of illocutionary acts in terms of directive, commissive, assertive, expressive, and declaratives. It focuses on the words appeared in form of spoken and written of the smartphone advertisement on YouTube. The smartphone advertisement limited on 9 smartphone brands only. They are Apple, Oppo, Samsung, Vivo, Realme, Xiaomi, Sony, Nokia, and Asus. The time frame is from 2020 until 2021, or the newest advertisement of the smartphone brands. Next, the formulation of research question. The research problem formulated by research question: what are the types of illocutionary acts in terms of directive, commissive, assertive, expressive, and declarative of smartphone advertisement on YouTube? Next, the purpose of the research. The research purpose is to find out and describe the types of illocutionary acts in terms of directive, commissive, assertive, expressive, and declaratives of smartphone advertisement on YouTube. Next, significance of the research. Theoretically, this research expected to give information and broaden knowledge about illocutionary acts and related to advertisement in speech act field. Practically, this research may give contribution to the development of pragmatic course, especially in illocutionary acts. This research also hopefully can give benefits for students in terms of deeper knowledge about illocutionary of speech act. And for the lecturer, this research can be used as teaching material in terms of analysis illocutionary acts of advertisement. Chapter 2, Literature Review. In this chapter, the researcher explained about pragmatics, speech act and the classification of the speech act, illocutionary and the types of illocutionary acts, advertisement, the definition, function, and also the kinds of advertisement, and the previous research. Chapter 5, Methodology. Research method. In this research, the researcher will use qualitative research. According to Moleon, qualitative research is research which intends to understand the phenomenon experienced by a subject of the research, such as behavior, perception, motivation, action, and so on, holistically and by means of description in the form of words and language in a specific natural context and by utilizing various natural methods. The goal of qualitative research is descriptive that can be done by analyzing. Therefore, descriptive qualitative will be used in this research to describe the types of illocutionary acts of smartphone advertisement on YouTube. Next, data sources. According to Loveland in Moleon, primary data source is act and words, while additional data source such as document and so on. In this research, the primary data source is utterances appeared in advertisement on YouTube, while for the additional data source, the researcher will use additional references such as article and journal as supporting information. Next, instrument of the data. In this research, the researcher will use observation technique. According to Siddiq and Hoiri, Observation is a process of seeing, observing, recording the behavior systematically for a specific purpose. Next, data analysis technique. According to Miles and Haberman in Siddiq and Hoyri, there are 3 activities in data analysis. They are data reducing, data display, and conclusion drawing. In step of data reducing, the researcher will transcribe the words appeared in advertisement. Next, the researcher will identify and analyze the words contain illocationary X, and then the researcher will classify them into the types of illocationary X in terms of directive, commissive, assertive, expressive, and declaratives. For the second step, data display, the researcher will display the data in form of narrative text. And the researcher will draw conclusion based on data finding as the last step of data analysis technique. Next, trustworthiness. To achieve the data validity, the researcher will use technique of continuous observation. According to Siddiq and Hoyri, continuous observation is doing observation more carefully and continuously in order to obtain definite and systematic data. Therefore, the researcher will recheck the data that has been found and provide an accurate and systematic description. Also, in this research, the researcher will use technique of reference or adequacy of reference as supporter to prove the data. In this research, the result of observation supported by advertisement video, and the researcher will attach the screenshot of the smartphone advertisement that shows illocationary X. Alright, that's all my presentation of my thesis proposal. Thank you for the nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.